Hello everyone, my name is the Deuteron Doctor. Today I wanted to talk about Widowmaker, how we can improve Widowmaker's design, make it more fair to play against and play as, and make it to where it's not so jarring to play against or as. Widowmaker has been a pretty big problem within the Overwatch 2 community for quite a while now. But I feel like this is the best time to actually talk about Widowmaker because Sombra is, not good at taking care of Widowmaker anymore. So, the goal is by having this discussion that we can make a better Widowmaker just in general. Now, Hanzo has one-shot capability just as much as Widowmaker. So, in reality, while you could have Hanzo's one-shot removed, the Hanzo mains don't exactly enjoy that, which I understand. I understand the biggest part of the character is probably like the headshot capability. So I understand why you wouldn't want to get rid of it, especially in 5v5 where headshot characters are really good. But the first thing I'd like to talk about Widowmaker is, as Widow, you are either going to feast or you are going to famine. It's a lot like Malga, a lot like Hanzo, a lot like Sombra, a lot like Ball, a lot like Doom. Very jarring. But the difference between Widowmaker and all those other characters is they have tools to play differently. Widow does not have tools to play differently. What I'd like to propose is that Widow has some sort of different shooting mechanic than she has right now. What I'd like is that the speed of the charge for the headshot would go higher. Not higher like in total. I mean, it goes up to 100% faster. But instead of doing 300 total damage with a headshot, it should do like 225, maybe 200 with a full headshot. This is only because not only does it let Widow keep her one-shot capability, maybe not just for squishies, but for other squishy-ish characters. In 225 or 200 would be a pretty good sweet spot to where the mobile characters would be more punished by positioning badly, which I think is perfectly fair. But it would also allow Widow, I'd like a second mechanic to where if she double taps the head hitbox, so let's say she gets a full 100%, but then gets another shot right after, obviously you'd have to let the shots happen faster. You wouldn't have that super big recoil and then not be able to shoot for a little bit and then shoot again. You'd have to be able to double tap specifically. But if you got a 100% headshot on someone and then tap their head again, it could be sort of like a final blow, and that could do the rest of the damage, the extra 100 if you hit the head. Otherwise, it would do like, let's say 25 or 50 damage. So you could still kill a squishy that's at 250 HP or 275 even, but you would have to hit their head with a full charge shot and then the body after. If you don't hit it after that, then you're not going to get the kill. Now, in theory, that sounds a lot more fair, and this is going to sound a little silly because I haven't covered Splatoon in quite a long time, but it's kind of based off the Bamboozler from Splatoon, where you can fully charge your shot, shoot, and then you have to hit a body shot to actually kill something. I think that gameplay is a lot more fair, as it, is more challenging than just point-and-click simulator like most Widows have to do nowadays. I think overall it's a healthier change to have to headshot and then body shot or headshot, depending on who you want to kill. And in that case, we could make Widowmakers better at killing tanks, for example. Now, I know Widow's really good at killing tanks, even with the headshot passive. But if Widow could do maybe 350 damage total with hitting 2 headshots in a row, a fully charged shot, and then a tap shot, not only would Widow have to hit more shots, thus doing more damage, but Widow would have overall less capability of hitting one shot and then killing someone. You'd be able to outplay it better, and it would make those it would make those clips where Widow just dominates a lobby a lot harder to pull off, and it would raise the skill ceiling of Widow, while albeit making it a bit harder to play. But then again, Widow is a very aim-intensive character. You should have good aim to be able to capitalize on Widow. But right now, Widow is pretty much just dominant. You can pretty much just play Widow and hug a corner and just keep your cursor at eye level, and you're bound to get a headshot at some point, even if it's random. So I think by introducing the tap shot after that fully charged shot to actually confirm the kill, I think that's perfect, because that gives a Brig enough time to open a shield or a Rhine, or it gives a BAP enough time to heal, or what have you, you know? I also think that Venom Mine could probably be worked to be something of more use to Widowmaker, because their ult is already a look through walls ability. I think it could be either stay a look through walls ability and change the ult, or it can be, as silly as it is, probably some type of bomb. Or, hear me out, it could be a tripwire to where if anything goes through that tripwire, let's say you put it on Coliseo, but it's a really hard to notice tripwire, like a Junkrat mine would be when there's a lot of action going on, where it's really hard to see. But you could put that down, and then if anyone is in, like, let's say 10 meters of that tripwire when it goes off, everyone gets seen through walls. So I think that would be a better idea for Venom Mine, be more of a Venom tripwire or Silk tripwire. I mean, a tripwire wouldn't be out of place for a spider-themed sniper. So I think that's a good idea. If you're not going to change Venom Mine, though, at least change the ult to how it is in Mirror Watch, where it lets you crit without having to hit the head. And the ult can let you have your old one-shot back, where you just have to hit the crit box and nothing else. Which, honestly, that's kind of fair. Ults are supposed to be powerful. I don't mind that. Or heck, better yet, make it like a supercharged shot. I know that sounds like Sojourn and or Hanzo, but think about it. It could be one really big sniper shot. I mean, the ult could literally be called Widow's Kiss. I mean, we're missing a lot of good potential here in the naming categories. But it wouldn't be out of place to have something that lets you crit with only one shot, or something that lets you just get one giant shot through the map, and it could like pierce walls or something. I think that would be pretty cool. Now, obviously, it wouldn't last very long, but it would do a lot of damage. Sojourn's railgun doesn't pierce walls. It wouldn't be bad to have one thing that pierces walls, especially because if you ult as Widow doing it, you should have to stay still during the duration of the ult, and that would enable a lot of counterplay. So I think overall, Widow could have a lot of things done to her. I would love to see a Widow that has an ult that passes through walls and is just one giant shot. I would love the tripwire, and I would love to have to double tap someone to actually confirm the kill, because that is just overall a healthier Widow. I don't mind the grapple hook, honestly. I think the grapple hook, in my opinion, grapple hook should probably be on a slightly shorter cooldown, because grapple hook is just, it's completely useless once you've used it once. Yeah, you're gone away from grapple hook, for like 8 seconds after you've used it, it's pretty much worthless if you get dived after that. Let's say you want to get on a high ground on Havana and you don't want to take the stairs because there's this team fight happening. Well, now you've used it and now you get dove. So I could see reasons why we should lower the cooldown of that, but that would make Widow much more susceptible to actually being pressured because they wouldn't have to hit just one shot to kill someone. They would have to hit 2. And yes, that does make it to where Hanzo would technically be better, but Widow would have utility then by having that tripwire and that ult. So I still don't think that changing Widow to do that would be a bad idea. Would Hanzo be better until people figure out Widow? Absolutely. But Widow would still be strong. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a Widow dominated meta. Sombra is what keeps Widow at bay. But if you have double tap, a tripwire, and a ult that pierces through walls, really if you just have the double tap, but those things are great too. If you had all those things, oh my god, Widow would be actually so fun to play. Widow would genuinely be really fun to play. And they wouldn't be completely worthless when it comes to getting dove by Sombra, because they could set up a tripwire instead of a venom mine that can be broken. You would have to hit the tripwire away from the tripwire, because if you're in the range of the tripwire, when you break it, it'll trip anyway, because it's, you know, a tripwire. That's how it works. So overall, I think there's multiple ways that Widow could be healthier for the game. And I haven't seen anyone really talk about it. I've seen people complain about Widow, sure. But I haven't seen anyone actually entertain the idea of Widow being something that takes a bit more skill and can keep their hero identity of one shot, one kill by having that change shot and that ultimate and that tripwire. That would be amazing, I think, for Widow. Widow would be a completely new character and would probably be able to fight an Ashe or a soldier or a Sojourn or a Cass much more reliably. But yeah, that's basically just my idea for Widow. I hope that they introduce a double tap mechanic and the other two that I've hoped for and talked about in this video. But overall, double tap mechanic, we got to do it. It makes perfect sense. It increases Widow's skill, and it makes Widow easier to deal with in counterplay. Anyways, my name's the Deuteron Doctor, and I will see you later. Bye.